What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Movie Talks, the only podcast you need for movie news, movie reviews, and more. We got episodes at 61. Lawson
You
has been hibernating during the week, so he sounds like a croaky bear. So, get,
hibernating. I've been doing everything but. I feel like this is
mhm.
one of the busiest weeks I've had in a long time.
Yeah, so's mate. I know you don't. You need the, you need those no effort days,
I
which
do.
we talk about. It's
Yesterday was
so,
pretty low effort.
it's
All I did
so
yesterday was go to
foreign.
the movies.
Okay,
But no, we're
yeah,
very different in that way.
yeah. That's kind of was it Killer because we've got Killers of the Flower Moon, which is a
We
new
do.
Martin Scorsese film. We have a Netflix new film, which is Old Dads, which is I forget his name, Bill
Bill
Burr's.
Burr.
Bill
Yeah.
Burr, yeah, he's new film, and we have the Netflix documentary of the very famous Beckham. So
Yep.
we'll get into those ones. But yeah, yeah, I know you were very, very excited to go to the movies this week,
I
and
was, yeah.
we'll get into that very soon.
How's your week been, man?
Yeah, pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. It's pretty hectic. It's always hectic,
Yeah.
especially around this time with all the externals and Year 12 stuff. All needs to go
Yeah,
in
yeah.
this week, so fitting everything in's been pretty hectic.
No joke. That's nearly out of the way at least.
Yep, yep.
How was grad?
Okay, that's this week.
Oh, it's this week? Sure.
Yep,
I assumed
yep.
it was last week because my schools have been last week.
No,
Yeah,
we're this
right.
week. Yep, right, right, dead set during exams, which
Oh,
is
that's smart.
mm, mm, yeah. Oh well,
Anyway.
it is what it is.
Yeah,
But
no shit.
let's get into the movie news and a film that we have seen before, which was two or 3 weeks ago. Bottom's fight scenes were influenced by The World's End. Do you
Oh,
remember?
yeah, I can see that actually.
Mm. Only now that I've read that, I'm like, oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
fair.
Ditto. Uh-huh.
Mm. There you go.
That's so true, actually. Yeah. No shit.
Mm,
Interesting. That's
mm.
I'm so glad because that's such a good movie to model. Like
Yeah, I like
Edgar
World's
Wright
End.
is the king of action comedy, in my opinion.
Yeah, Baby Driver still annoys me ridiculous amounts
Why?
because I hate that his name's Baby. I hate it.
Oh,
Like
fuck. That's really a problem with that movie.
it literally derails the entire movie for me. Like I cannot stand that his name is Baby. I don't know why. It's just really,
Well, it's
really
not
off-putting.
really.
No, but I don't care. That's what they refer to him as, and it annoys me to no end, as you can
Yeah,
tell.
right.
Mm, so it is
You're
my least
annoyed
favorite
by
film of
dumb
his.
things.
Mm, Dumb to you, very important to me. Mm.
Someone's nickname is important to you.
It is. It is. But there is a Back to the Future, the musical. I did not
Oh,
know that there
really?
was a musical happening. Yeah.
Neither did I. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Man, I kind of wish that they extended the Back to the Future franchise. Like
No way.
I'd like more of it.
No.
Yeah.
We talk all the time about letting shit die. If the original is good, let it go. The
No,
fact that
but
the third movie is so trash,
one and two were good, and then the third was not great.
exactly. So let it die.
No, no,
Oh
no.
wow, no,
I
you're
want it.
completely wrong.
I wanted them to try one more time.
What would you want them to do?
I don't know. Something to do with the train and Doc's family
Train
come in. You know how like
at the end of
Doc,
three?
yeah, Doc appears with the train, and he's got a family. He's like, "Hey, Martin, look at me."
No, that's a
Uh,
terrible idea.
Whatever. You're terrible.
I cannot agree with that in any shape, way, or form. It is not
Well,
okay.
you get on board. Choot
Will
choot.
I?
Get on board.
Toot toot. I get it.
Yeah.
Good one.
Thank you, thank you. That was the whole setup.
Right, that was just for that one joke. You wanted to.
Yeah.
How late
But
were you up last night thinking of that one?
I'm a man of opportunity. It's,
Yep.
yeah, connect the dots.
Yep. And if there's an opportunity, you just make one or just shoehorn in a joke somewhere.
Blunt force.
Yeah.
The
Bite
the
the pillow.
yeah. Ooh. The Crown full season 6 shows the build up to Diana's death.
Oh, in
Uh,
the crown.
mm, mm.
Is that have you watched any of that?
No, no.
Me either.
You know how we watch political things every once in a while, and I hate them every single
Sure.
time. I feel like if I'm not going to do it for podcast, I'm not going to watch a political show or movie.
Is it
got no.
political?
Well, it's about the royal family and stuff. It's about the whole.
Yeah, but they're
Oh,
barely involved in politics.
whatever. I'm sure it is.
I have no idea.
No, I got no interest.
Not me either.
Is
Look,
there-
just more to me because I don't care. I've never cared about the royal family ever
no, I mean, I feel like they're pretty important in England.
in England. It's just like it's an old, outdated system. We don't live in a what's the word, a feudal system anymore.
No, but
It's unusual.
they're still very important over there.
Yeah, well,
Mm,
whatever. I've
mm.
never understood. Even when all the fucking shit was going on with, I can't remember their names, when they had babies and then they left the family and all that sort of stuff. I could not give a shit.
Oh, Megan and Harry.
Yeah,
Uh,
whatever.
yeah, I don't
It
know.
means literally nothing to me.
No, but Bradley Cooper is a complicated genius in the new trailer for Maestro. Bradley Cooper's
Okay.
pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah, I don't mind him. I think he's done some good stuff. I love Limitless. Limitless is like one of those guilty pleasure movies,
Okay.
but I don't know. He also does a lot of bullshit, fucking rom com stuff.
Well, yeah. Why wouldn't you cash in while you can? You're only like young for a short amount of time. Might as well build up the
Yeah, but when
bank.
your entire character is nice smile, I
Yeah.
don't give a shit.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
people that built career on less.
well, exactly right. That's the problem. That's
Well,
exactly the problem.
with the new June Part 2 coming out very soon, you've got the Lego reveal a new June Royal Helicopter mini set or whatever it's called. I don't even know what that's
Yeah, I
called.
saw.
Orthopater? I don't know.
No idea.
I don't know.
Yeah, I saw. I follow Lego on
Mm,
Instagram. I think.
mm,
Um, yeah, saw that during the week. Actually,
yeah.
looks pretty cool. I'm always excited for more Lego.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of June. I like the miniseries, but
I'm not excited for the new movie.
mm,
It looks like the old movie.
yeah. Well, yeah.
Like,
It was very stylish. It just didn't have a lot of substance to it.
yeah, I think that's fair. I didn't dislike the first one, but you're right. Like, I don't give a shit about the next one. It
No.
feels, wish it felt a little bit more mature
Okay.
because I feel like everything Charlemagne is doing recently is just like aimed at teens, and yeah, I don't care.
Fair. Boy Kills World director on winning over Sam Raimi with Madcap Martial Arts Blowout. There is a new film that Sam Raimi is now talking about called Boy Kills World.
Okay,
Mm.
I haven't heard anything about this.
Neither did I until then, but now I'm highly intrigued if it wins
Oh
over
yeah, if
Sam
it's
Raimi.
Sam Raimi. Oh, and
Yeah,
Bill Skarsgård is the boy.
yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds like
right.
something we will be watching.
Yeah.
Mm,
It's already got reviews, so it's already out.
must be out. Don't think it. I didn't even see any like what's it called publicity for it or advertisement.
Yeah, it came out in September, early
Weird.
September 9th.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Interesting.
Must
It says
be.
it's a short, but it's an hour 50, so it's not a short. I don't understand.
Oh, weird. Who knows?
Okay. Yeah.
Mm,
Interesting. I didn't know it existed.
yeah, right. Paddington in Peru to arrive in November. I love Paddington. I actually
I remember
like
you saying.
Paddington 1 and 2. I used to love. They even got a new ABC Kids like show. I quite like it.
Okay. I haven't seen it.
Paddington. No,
I haven't
I used,
seen any of them. Is it two of them?
there's two. This will be the third.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I see nothing.
he's a talking bear.
He is. That
Mm.
much I know. But
Okay, I wasn't sure. I just had
yeah,
to
no,
make sure.
I know the original Paddington. I think I remember watching it as a kid.
Yeah. Okay.
But I've seen none of the remakes. Are they live action with like a puppet, or what is it,
Nah,
like cartoon? I
CGI.
have no idea.
Live actions with CGI bear.
Oh, the bear CGI, everybody else is real. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ugh, dumb.
Mm.
Everyone talking to a fucking man on his knees in a suit.
Yep. Yep.
Awesome.
Yep. Well,
I'm so dirty with CGI recently.
just take the magic out of it, mate. Just ruin Paddington. Can't just
Well, they already have.
no, they haven't. Just enjoy it for what it is, my friend. Go
Nah,
back, be a happy child.
nah.
I can tell. Uh, Deadpool 3 in release limbo as strike delays hit harder. So, you know, Deadpool 3 is being delayed.
Don't care. I watched Deadpool 2.
Okay. Well, it's nowhere near as good as one. Still
Sure.
fun, but not as good. Not as good.
One is by far the highest grossing X-Men film. Like,
Oh, yeah. It's the first one
skies and
that
above.
was like R rated and they actually did a good job with it. Of course, it was going to be
Yeah,
like, yeah, it's what, well, Venom should have been R, but they were like, no, we need to keep it MA. And then
I
it
know.
wasn't as good. But
Venom, gonna get him, Venom, Venom, gonna get him, Venom.
I don't mind that song.
I know
Yeah.
it's makes me laugh every time I hear it.
And the last one, Zack Snyder announces a Rebel Moon prequel comic to expand the story. I'm actually pretty
Okay,
excited for Rebel Moon. I know nothing about it besides that
me either.
he tried to pitch it as a Star Wars, I guess, universe
Yeah,
story,
yeah,
and he got knocked back. So then he took it to Netflix, and I was like, "Yep, here's a boatload of money."
yeah. In my brain, I'm picturing like literally Star Wars, like a Star Wars spin-off almost.
It looks darker, so like it looks more like tribal rather than Star
Okay.
Wars. You know, how Star Wars is like accessible to like all ages, and so they don't go like overly dark with their, I guess,
Yeah, yeah,
characters and stuff. Yeah,
yeah. Or their tones or anything like that. Yeah,
yeah, this feels a little like the tone is different, like it's darker.
I hope so because Star Wars has lost me recently.
Okay,
So I'd be happy for something a
yeah.
bit fresher.
Ahsoka was
But
good.
we will see.
Ahsoka was
What's sorry,
better.
Ahsoka? Yeah, people keep saying I need to get around it.
Yeah.
I pretty much stopped watching. I guess if we want a quick update on a couple of things, I've pretty much stopped watching Gen V. I'm really bored of it. I want to
Okay.
reduce my rating.
Okay.
Every episode just feels like, oh, one episode they lost memory. Oh, one episode they've the one I watched most recently, they were inside someone's brain. Like each episode just feels like a little side quest now. I'm over it. I
Okay.
said when we were reviewing it, I said I'd be bored of this show if they dragged out the mystery of the woods.
And they
And that's
did.
exactly what they're doing. So
Okay.
I don't care anymore.
Okay.
Watching the boys instead. I'm not very far in that.
Do you like the boys better from
So
what you're
far,
saying?
yeah,
It's a
yeah,
lot. The tone is much darker, more
yeah,
mature.
yeah. It is. It
Mm.
hasn't like sucked me in yet. I haven't felt like sometimes you watch a show and you like really want to watch the next episode.
Okay.
That's how I felt with the Fall of the House of Usher. Fall
Yeah.
of the House of Usher.
Yeah, I didn't get that
Uh,
for that.
the boys, I don't care. Like it's right
Okay.
now, it's okay, but
Okay.
give it time. I'm sure.
Okay. 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 Cool. Well then, let's move into a movie that you were very, very excited about. We've kind
Oh
of
yes,
almost fallen into this pattern of one trending thing and then you pick and I pick. So we feel like that's probably a good thing moving forward. So that's going to be our
yeah,
format. I'll have a pick.
yep,
Lawson will have a pick, and we'll pick something that is brand new. So
yep.
you were super excited for this. I hadn't actually heard about it, even though I do like Scorsese.
I want to go on the
And
record now that I've always said Scorsese as well. And if you go on Google and search Martin Scorsese pronunciation, it says Scorsese. But I went and found an interview of his, and he pronounces his own name Scorsese.
uh-huh.
So I'm going to try and train myself to say Scorsese from now on.
Okay, interesting.
Just put that out there.
Right, I probably
But
need to
yes, I was
do that.
very excited. The new Scorsese film. I'm a
Uh,
huge fan of his. I think in my like top five favorite movies, probably top 10. I reckon like two or three of them are Scorsese films. Um,
he did. Did he do Departed? That was one of his, wasn't it?
Departed.
Yeah,
Yep.
I really
Departed.
like
Shutter
Departed.
Island. My favorite movie ever is
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas.
Yeah,
Yep.
Goodfellas is great.
That's him as well.
Um,
Casino. Wolf of Wall Street.
Street. Yeah,
That's my top 10 as well.
Shutter
Yeah.
Island. That was really good.
Yep. Said that.
He did.
It did.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
yeah. Well then,
Yeah. I love
he's
him.
he's
He's
got
one of my favorites.
he's got a very very big list. So lots to
Yeah.
live up to every time you bring out a film, especially
Yeah.
with your track record.
Oh, definitely. But
So,
doesn't miss.
mm, This is a crime drama history film. So this is
Yep.
when oil is discovered in 1920 Oklahoma under Oscar Oscar
Osage.
Osage. I have no idea what that is.
Osage.
Osage
Osage. What do you mean? You watched the movie?
Yeah, yeah.
Osage are the indigenous Americans, are the, well, not
There you
all of
go.
them, but like this certain people,
Okay.
like the Native Americans, Indian as they call
Okay.
them.
Yeah. How do I say that? Osage. Osage people.
Osage.
Osage people are murdered one by one until the FBI steps in to unravel the mystery. I want to
Yeah.
go on record and say anytime there is like a timepiece or there's like American history, it goes over my head. Like I got no connection or no like
Yeah. Okay.
um interest, I guess, into like the American history side. Like I don't know. I got no
Yeah,
connection to it. Like I don't really care that much.
but I think I think the story of the Osage can be connected with the story of Indigenous Australians as well. Like
Yeah.
what we're seeing happen, what we saw happen, and what we saw in this film happens with any invaded country. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I think what we. Oh, you're right though, because like I have no connection with. I don't even know where Missouri and fucking Oklahoma is and shit.
Mm.
But you know, I can still understand that. You know,
Okay.
these land belongs to these people and blah 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 blah.
All I know
Invaders,
is that
etc.
Oklahoma have a basketball team.
Sure, I
Mm.
don't know that. Who?
Mm.
What's Oklahoma? Who?
Oklahoma Thunder.
There you go. No
Mm.
idea.
Mm. So,
Yes, I was very excited for this,
oh,
and rightfully
I,
so.
I want to hear your take. Go.
My take.
Yeah, let's go.
I think this is an incredibly powerful piece of media. I fucking loved it. It's 3.5 hours. Yes, it's long. I get it. I kind of would have loved this as like a mini series, like a 6 episode mini series, something, because there are still elements that I feel like I wanted more information on.
I would
And there's
like it
still
as a mini
sometimes
series because then I would only have to watch three, not 3 hours of this.
three hours would still be three
No,
episodes.
I'm putting them at half an hour each.
No, I want this to be like 6 hours long.
Are you serious?
Oh wow, you're so fucking stupid. How
Whatever.
do you fucking not like this stuff?
This was shocking.
Oh, I hate you. Oh my god.
It was terrible. Keep going. Keep going. It
All
was
right.
truly boring.
You're truly boring.
No, this was go
No, I
go.
okay. So the story follows so the character that Leonardo DiCaprio plays is like it's 1920, so it's just post World War One. He comes back from war. Ernest Burkhart is his name. He's a bit of a simple man. His wife describes him as what she say? She says he's a bit thick, but he's nice, something like that. Like he's not the smartest guy, not the sharpest tool. And he's easily manipulated, which is sort of where the whole story goes. But yeah, more or less, he falls in love with an Osage woman played by Lily Gladstone, who deserves a fucking Oscar for this. She is incredible. Um, Molly Burkhart is her name in the story, and she owns, so all in this part of Oklahoma, all the Osage people own all the land where the oil is. Turns out, did some research. It turns out they're not what I thought was like their land because they're the original custodians is actually incorrect. They bought the land before there was oil there. So the Osage is from a different place in America. They moved, migrated to Oklahoma. They bought land because they could, and then that land struck oil. So all the Osage became very, very, very rich. So like they're the richest Native Americans ever, more or less. So Robert De Niro's character, William Hale or Bill Hale, he more or less has a plot that he pretends to be like he calls himself the king of the Osage. He, tries to like be that he's the nice person. Everyone looks up to him, and he's the big cheese in town. But he has this plot to more or less buy up or to marry all the women because the women are the one who own the land, the Osage land, and the oil. and he tries to get people that he knows to marry the women, and then slowly all the women start dying. So it's like Ernest Burkhart, Leonardo DiCaprio's character, is being caught between his family and sort of the responsibilities and the manipulation of William Hale or Bill Hale, Robert De Niro's character. But he also does actually love his wife. And as the story continues, it's him being manipulated and twisted and he's very ignorant to what's happening around him as well. And the whole world, his whole world is sort of caught between family, people he loves, his actual wife and his three kids, and the responsibilities of his uncle Bill Hale. Um, yeah, I had a fucking amazing time. I am keen as shit for this to come out on Netflix, something like that. Scorsese films, those movies, I will watch. Like I watch Wolf of Wall Street and Goodfellas probably every month, and I never get bored of them, even though they're like 3 hours. This is the same. Like this is on the same sort of level to me as like The Irishman. Have you seen The Irishman?
Yeah, the Irishman was pretty good.
Yeah, this is to me very similar in terms of like its pacing and delivery. And anyway, I think this is a very poignant story. It's about, you know, corruption and manipulation and whatever else, but it's also about taking advantage of people. And yeah, I had a fantastic time. I didn't want it to end. I wanted more of it. I wanted more characters. I wanted more fleshed out stories. Something I found out afterwards as well is that when this was first in development, um, it felt more like a procedural where they were like, you know, all the murders are happening and they were following the police. And it was almost initially written as like a murder mystery where the police were trying to find out who did it. And Scorsese and Leonardo and the other writer whose name I forget, Eric Roth, were like, no, it's so much like a procedural. It's been done before. And when they finally figured out the needs to center around Ernest, it totally changed the direction of the film. They almost had to restart the entire thing. And I'm so glad they did because this is like such a heartfelt, just it's amazing. It's to me, I'm already gonna say it's a 5. Like I had fucking a brilliant time. Go.
Yes.
Why did you find it boring? It's long, but you can't just say it's long, therefore it's boring. Because long can be good too. You like Wolf of Wall Street.
I do like Wolf of Wall Street because it's entertaining. It has a good story. This
It
was
doesn't.
no, this was
Oh my god.
so boring.
Oh,
It
you're
was like,
boring.
was everybody wearing a prosthetic? Like Leonardo DiCaprio looked like they had like some random as face mask on. Like it was weird. They looked
Oh, he's
weird
always got
on
that
screen.
frown on.
Yeah, like I don't know. There's like even De Niro and Caprio looked like they had some like face masky thing on. Like their skin didn't look weird. It looked weird. Like I don't know what that was, but it looked odd. And
I
this
didn't find that.
really, I don't
No.
know. Well, it did. So it looked like they were wearing a face mask, like something from the whale. And then there was, and then they've gone. This is every single time they were like, "We'll marry a what was it?
Sage.
Osage lady, and then we'll slowly poison her. She'll die." And this kept repeating over and over again. This didn't need to be 3 hours. They could have packed this into 2 hours, and it would have been a much more impactful tale. It didn't
What
draw out
would you have
every
cut?
single thing. We didn't have to see every single like marriage to death. Like we didn't need all of that. It was so long. We didn't need
Who's
every drawn out scene.
what marriage to death? Like I'm trying to the only we saw her sisters die, but
Yeah,
like I don't feel like there was so much tension spent on them.
it was just we
I
didn't
would have liked
even
more time with her sisters so I
no,
can
we
actually
didn't
understand
no, we didn't even
the
need that
weight.
at all.
So you reckon 2 hours, just make
Two hours.
it about Ernest and Molly.
Yep. And it would have
But
been
it's not necessarily about Ernest and Molly. It's about the whole town being manipulated by this one man.
it would have been more impactful, it would have been more suspenseful if it was just seeing him impact Ernest and then seeing the actual massive pool and spending the time on them rather than trying to show this massive grand scale, which
But it was
unfortunately,
grand scale. It was more or less a manipulated genocide. Like it's grand scale. Like it's like saying, oh, if they do the Holocaust film, they need to keep it under 2 hours so that they can not tell all these different stories. Like I feel like this movie needed to be this long, if not longer, so we could appreciate just the grand scale of, because this is a real story. This fucking happened. This one
Yeah.
man did all of this. You don't. Oh wow, wow. I'm surprised, but not surprised. I guess
Look,
I knew you would. I knew you'd think it was too long,
yeah, it
but
was. It was so slow. I couldn't connect with any of the characters. I didn't care. And it was just the whole first 90 minutes was just watching Old Mate and Hungry Money Men. And that was it. There
yeah,
was
but
no
that's Scorsese. Like
mm,
the start of Irishman is just spending time with him and like getting to know him. And again, it's about a character who's easily manipulated and not very strong willed, um, being caught between love and duty. Uh, wow. Okay.
no, no,
Wow.
no. It's just
Can you?
it's slow and repetitive the entire way through.
Well, yeah,
It's
it's repetitive because it's you know it's a
see
story that
like
did repeat itself. Like
their original plan where it was like a murder mystery who done it would have been better.
no, no, you're
Yes.
so fucking wrong. I mean, that's been
No.
done 1,000 times. What made this special is that it was something different.
No. No. Messed it up. Messed it
No,
up.
no,
Yeah.
oh my God, no one fucking agrees with you.
Well, I think they do. I think they
I wish
do.
we had a third person in here so we could like divide our opinion.
Yeah. Well, put it in the comments when you're watching. Let us know.
Yeah,
Let us know. Put a thumbs up for me and put a art house for Lawson.
an art house. Yep, that
Mm-hmm.
old art house
Mm-hmm.
emoji.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Put a house. Put a house.
A house, yeah,
Yeah.
a house. Um, what did you think of? This isn't a spoiler by any means because this is the epilogue. But at the end, when it comes out of the story and goes onto the stage show, instead of like, because the classic way of doing the denouement would be like, text on a screen, this person did this person went to jail for this long. Like that's how they did Goodfellas, for example. What do you think of that? Do you think that was pretty cool? Or by then you were just over it?
I was fully checked out by then.
Oh, bro.
I would have preferred to paint the wall, like anything. I would
Well,
have like mowed my lawn, got the whippersnipper out, did the edges of the garden, like anything. I would have rather done a
frustrate me. You
marathon.
frustrate
I'll
me.
run a marathon before I'd watch this again.
No
Ridiculous.
fucking way.
Ridiculous.
No, this is so good. And the kind of film that I feel like I am better for have watching. Like now I know this part of history that I didn't before, and I'm like thankful for it. And like I said, I feel like this story is poignant because like we've seen over in every colonized or invaded country, we've seen people who have been just totally taken advantage of and manipulated, and entire societies destroyed because of greed. I think De Niro was like, I love De Niro as a bad guy. I think he's like just so oily and manipulative and dangerous in this. I love
Okay.
it.
Okay. Look,
Yeah, right.
we're gonna disagree. We're gonna agree to disagree. But for
Oh,
me, this is Scorsese's worst film by far.
no.
Yeah, yeah, by
I'm not sure
far,
what I would call his worst film, but I don't think this is his worst.
by far, worst film.
I like it's more than. Have you seen Casino?
Yeah, I like Casino.
I like it's more than Casino.
Mm, no,
Probably more than Departed. Probably not more than Goodfellas, and not more than Wolf. But
ooh, I reckon Departed or Wolf is probably my favorite. I don't
yeah,
know.
fair. Okay, I can understand that, but I like the reason I love Scorsese is, as a filmmaker, is I love stories that take place over a long period of time. And like this is, his oldest kid is over 10 or something. Like this takes place over like 10 to 15 years, something like that. And there's no like I hate when movies come up with like 3 years later, 4 years later. Like we don't need that. Show us, and kids are such a good way of showing us how much time is passing. You know, we see a character all of a sudden they've got a child in their arms. Like, okay, cool. It's been like a year. You know. Uh, what do you think of at least like character portrayals? Like, I honestly think that DiCaprio, De Niro, and Gladstone all deserve nominations for this film.
Look, I think it was well acted. The cinematography was good. It was just I didn't like the story. I didn't connect with the story. It was slow, and I was just checked out. I didn't care. Did not care.
Like you said, we'll agree to disagree.
Yeah,
There'll be, I think there's another movie tonight we'll agree to disagree on.
probably.
Um,
Probably.
but yeah, look, I thought this was spectacular. I am very excited to rewatch it. One of those movies for me. As soon as this comes on a streaming service, I'll be putting it on pretty regularly, I think.
I will be putting this on like do not recommend again.
Wow, dude.
Mm,
Did you know
it,
that you know the scene in the roundhouse where all the Native Americans were all sitting around talking and sharing stories and whatever?
mm,
They were all real, obviously real actual Native Americans, but none of those people are actors. They just like put a bunch of people in a room, got as many as they could, and basically said, "Here's a camera. We want you guys to just talk, share stories." You know, a lot of that was just Scorsese letting them explore and him just pointing a camera at them. And there's supposedly a scene where they were all just talking without a camera. They were just like, you know, in there having a discussion, whatever. And one of the people on set came out and said to Scorsese, like, you need to put a camera in there and capture this, and that's what they did. Um, I love that. I think it's great because it makes it like this is a real story with real people, not just a bunch of actors getting paid to read out lines.
mm, mm.
Okay,
Nah,
look,
no.
agree disagree. This is a 5 for me. It's it's very very good. I liked it more than Oppenheimer.
Ugh,
Uh,
again, we're at the opposite end.
yeah, very much so.
Yep, yep.
This is look. I gotta say, there were times where I was looking at the time and I was like, okay, how long's it been? Another hour and a half. Okay, but I think it's because I need to pee. But I don't think there's anything that I need to remove. Like I think Scorsese's really good at cutting the fat and being like there was no moment where I felt like because I needed to pee for like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and there was no moment where I felt like it was safe to go to the toilet. Like I feel like every scene I was being given more information.
Yeah,
Whereas you disagree.
I would have preferred to
Anyway, I
go to the toilet.
thought it was very special
Yeah, well,
and a powerful piece of media
okay, okay.
and very deserving of some Oscars and awards and whatever.
Nope. Well, for me, it was. It's well acted. They're good actors. It's shot well. There's some really cool cinematography, but besides that, it's not worth your time to sit there. It's
It
like
is.
it's not. It's not. It's like 1.5. 1.5. It's I wouldn't go anywhere near this again. If someone asked me and they were like, "Oh, what do you think? Should I go see was Killers of the Flower Moon?" No, 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 no. Don't go
It's
anywhere
so
near it.
frustrating because you're going to lead people astray.
How am I leading people astray? I didn't like it.
You didn't like it. Doesn't mean
Yeah.
it's bad.
What do you want me again? I said it's well
But if
acted.
someone said to you, "Should I go watch it?" and you said no, that's
No.
inaccurate. They should go watch it. They should form their own opinion.
Then why
You
are they
just need to
asking me?
say
They should have their own. If they want to go watch it, go watch it. If they want my opinion, they've asked me,
yes.
so I'm going to give my opinion. My
But
opinion
I don't
is,
think the answer is
should
a
I
straight
watch
up
it?
no. I
It's
think
a
the
straight up
answer
no.
is
Didn't like it at all. I don't think.
yeah, that's the answer. I didn't
Yeah,
like it. I wish it was an action film.
I wish it was more entertaining and like better connection with characters. Yes.
I think there's so much connection with the characters.
Nope. Nope.
Okay. Look, again, agree to disagree. That's the whole point of the podcast is that we have very different opinions on
Yeah.
films and media.
Yep. Yep.
I think the next thing's going to be polar opposites as well.
We'll see. We'll
uh-huh.
see. Now we are moving on to something more enjoyable. And this is Netflix's newest film, which is Old Dads. So this is about three best friends becoming fathers late in life and find themselves battling preschool principals, millennial CEOs, and anything created after 1987. Da, da, da. So
Yep.
this is starring Bill Burr, Bobby Cannavale, and Brookham Woodbin.
Yep.
So they play.
Starring one guy I know and two guys I've never heard of.
Okay. Uh, I feel like he would have seen the other two around. Like they've been in bits and pieces here and there. I've seen them.
Oh,
I've seen them around. But
maybe Bobby Cannavale, whatever the name is, but
yeah,
that Bokeem Woodbine, I have no fucking idea. I've never seen him in anything, I think.
I swear he's in. He's in Spider-Man: Homecoming.
I haven't seen it.
He's in Wu Tang.
I haven't seen it.
He's in bits and pieces. Ghostbusters
He's in Fargo.
Afterlife.
Haven't seen it. Halo. Haven't seen it. Ghostbusters. Haven't seen it. I've seen nothing he's in.
Okay. Well, I've seen the things he's in. So he's okay. It's not like I wouldn't go see a film just because he's in it. But he's all right. He's all right. So this is Bill Burr is our main character. He becomes a dad. He has another kid on the way with his wife, Leah. And it's him and his friends own a what is it, a replica jersey company where they make replicas of all your like basketball, baseball, etc., and they sell them online. So that's how they get their money. It gets taken over by the newest CEO, which are like all these millennial people, and
They sell their company.
they sell it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they sold their company, and it's to that's right, because he has to pay for his son's private school education,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's why they sell it. And they have it's pretty much them going, well, Bobby's going through a midlife crisis and is always like trying to be hip and cool, which is cringy
Yeah.
majority
Pretty
of the time.
tragic. Yeah.
Which is that awkward comedy. I did laugh a few times, but majority of the time, like, oh, you're hard to watch.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's fair.
yeah, Mike is he has a child and an ex-wife, and then he has a new relationship which ends up becoming pregnant.
He
And
has no character. His
no,
character is such a blank slate. He has nothing.
uh, he gets a little bit of character at the end where he's like, where he has a full breakdown, and but that's it. There's
And the
nothing.
scene in the car with the N word,
Yeah,
that's probably his best scene. But talk about that later.
yeah. And then you've got Jack or Bill Burr. He's our main driving force. He's a very outspoken, I guess. What generation are they based? Boomer. He'd be a very
It's Gen X.
Gen X.
Because they make the
Okay.
joke one point, someone calls him a boomer, and he's like, "I'm Gen X."
Oh, right. He's Gen X. He's a very outspoken, angry man who is pretty much he's pretty much Bill Burr playing Bill Burr
Yes.
in these situations. So if you understand his like, I guess his comedy or his stand up, you'll probably laugh at it. Like I found him the most entertaining, but like overall, it's Bill Burr going from situation to situation and him just having outbursts or
Yeah.
attempting to like navigate his way through a awkward situation. Like he has a go at his school print at the son's school principal. He has a go at all these different people while he's driving. Like it's this entire movie was one situation to the next to get a reaction from Bill Burr.
Yes. It's 100 minutes of Bill Burr being mad at society for progressing.
Yeah,
It's
that's
it's 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 what if someone said, let's turn a Bill Burr stand-up show into a feature-length film. This is exactly that. It's nothing. If you've seen his stand-up, then you know exactly what to go into with this.
yeah,
And yeah, I
yeah,
still hated it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I hated it.
I fucking hated this, man. It's
Yeah,
so
right.
problematic.
Look, I found majority of it like either smile worthy or like a giggle worthy, but there was no like big sort of like laughter moments for this. It was like,
No.
ha, that was funny, or that line was funny. There was a car scene where once they sell their company, they're kept on, and then they are sent to recruit this person who has no interaction with social media. Like he's a nomad going
Mm.
around, and they have a scene with this young employee who, when he's singing along, says the N word, and there's this whole scene around it,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
was quite funny. Like that was
Yeah. It's
that
them like in a car shooting the shit. And what's the guy's name? In the back seat? Mike.
Mike.
Mike's in the back. He's African American, and the guy he's talking to is like, what music you listen to? And he's like, oh, like Wu Tang, I like MDMA, blah blah blah. Um, and he's like, oh yeah, all right. So when they're singing along and he gets the N word, what do you say? And he's like, I just leave a gap. And he's like, no, no, no way you leave a gap. Like if you're in the zone, you're feeling it, and then like they put the song on, and he's singing along, and he's like, oh, I can't say it. I laughed at that. That's like you said, the one time that I had an actual laugh. But the rest of it, like I can't. It's to me, I fit into what Bill Burr would describe as the snowflake woke cunt category, and I'm watching this when I'm watching this main character who's extremely problematic and toxic, and I'm sitting there trying like the story's trying to get me to side with him when he's arguing with all these people and getting mad at everybody. And I'm like, no, I don't side with this person at all. He's a horrible person. He's a piece of shit. Like the only thing I can side with is his anger issues because I have anger issues. I'm angry at the world all the time, but I'm not toxic and fucking disgusting person. I don't think. I hope not.
So Bill Burr actually directed and wrote this.
Doesn't surprise
So
me.
look, I laughed a number of times, and when they are all having their breakdown, they go to a strip club, and they're having like the deep and meaningfuls with the strippers, and Mike has his like I can't remember his alter ego when he was like super drunk, and he's like, "This is like I don't know, I want to say T-Pain or something or other." He was like, he's like, "This is."
I started skipping by then. By
He's
then
like,
I was already like next, skipping forward 5 seconds. Like,
he's like, this is me now. He's like, this is all I am. He's just, and then he goes and has his like, you know, epiphany or awakening or whatever. But
yeah,
overall, it's a nothing film. It's you put on if you want just mindless angry man raging against the world
yep.
in all its wokeness. But
I hated that every quote unquote woke character, or snowflake, I guess in his world, is like such a fucking caricature and so far from what real woke people actually are. Like, yes, there are the extreme wokes who try, who get offended with everything. Sure, but like, the what's her name, the principal of the
yeah,
school we had problems with. No one acts like that. No one acts like that. And that like you're trying to get us to side with the sane one when the sane one is like the angriest, most problematic person on the planet in this. When you've got one caricature on one end, you can't help but have a caricature on the other. Like it's so disconnected from the actual issues. Uh, sorry, this like fucking triggered me. I had a lot of problem with this.
really, I didn't get triggered at all with it. I just watched Bill Burr go from one scene to the other and rage and occasionally giggle at his rage. That
And I
was
was like, I was thinking that a story like this where the character's flaws are his anger and his like disgust with the world. I persevered because I was thinking at the end he might have an epiphany and realize that he doesn't decide who gets offended. That's my big thing. It's not up to us to decide who gets offended, right?
mm.
where when watching this, I thought that's where it was going to end. But in the end, he didn't change at all. He got some counseling for his anger issues, but that doesn't change his opinion on the world. It just means he's better at controlling it.
No,
Like,
it was like Bill Burr taking on the world where Bill Burr's like dislike of people end up being correct.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's you're either going to watch this as somebody who already likes Bill Burr and shares all of his opinions, and watch this and be like, yeah, that's so right. The world is way too fucking sensitive these days, and Bill Burr's a fucking legend for calling everyone out. Or you're gonna watch this and be like, Bill Burr's a fucking idiot. And by creating this trying to by Bill Burr trying to create a movie that's pointing his fingers at the snowflake society, he more or less accidentally made a look at me, I'm a problematic fuckwit instead. Like
Okay.
this has changed my opinion of Bill Burr. I didn't mind his stand up because he was just an angry man on a stage, but I guess I've only watched short segments because this an hour and a half of angry Bill Burr made me just hate the guy.
Okay. Look, I don't mind Bill Burr. I always listen to him and Joe Rogan on his podcast and stuff. Like I find him amusing. I went into
Yep,
this like I had an okay time. I didn't have a bad time. Didn't have a good time. Like I watched him be angry. I laughed a couple of times.
I'm glad.
I don't get offended by all the either side really of like
Yeah,
the wokeness or the anti woke. I'm I'm a person that's just in the middle. Let people be people. Let's
yeah,
judge them on
that's my
their
opinion
actions
too.
and
Let people be people. Let like if if someone's offended by something, it's not up to Bill Burr to decide. No, you can't be offended by that. Like,
yeah,
let people be people.
yeah. So look, it was okay. It was okay. If I
It was
went to the
problematic as
movies,
shit.
no.
My
See,
opinion. Sorry,
I didn't see the problematic side.
I understand that.
Like I
And,
went
and
into it.
like you've said, at least this wasn't had to pay for it at a cinema. Like at least
Yeah,
it's just on fucking Netflix.
yeah, yeah. It's straight. It's like you pick this up. It's straight to DVD.
Yeah.
That's what you'd expect. Like if you went to the movies, I would be disappointed. But if it was a straight to DVD and you got it for like a week back in the old
Wiki
day when
rental. Yeah,
you
yeah.
go, yeah, like I
Three
wouldn't
for
be that up,
10.
wouldn't be that upset about it. It's
Yeah.
just it is what it is. Like I wouldn't go, you need to go see this. If someone said, hey, come, what should I watch this? I'd be like, if you want a mindless angry man being angry at the world, have a couple of giggles, yeah, why not? But like it doesn't get a 3 rating. It's like a 2.5, maybe 2, probably 2,
Okay.
2.
Okay.
I think it's 2.
I'm
Like
glad because I was worried that you'd watch this and be like, oh, he's so funny. And like, he's so right. I
look,
guess.
I've never been one that gets into the whole
No.
political side of all that. The only thing
Yeah,
that I
yeah.
find really interesting is the trans athletes into competitive sport. Like I find each side of the argument's very, very intriguing.
Fair. Very fair.
But the rest
And
of
I'm
it,
glad, like, at least this, like, the only thing I can probably give it credit for, I guess, besides a couple of funny scenes, is at least this didn't try to fucking approach every fucking problem. Like if this tried to have an argument about trans rights or like trans in sports, and then also tried to have an argument about I don't fucking know what else, like how to parent. And oh, I actually did have a joke about how to parent and stuff, even though their argument was pretty accurate. Um, yeah, if this tried to do too many things and point out too many snowflake problems in quotes, um, then it would have been fucking much worse. Like at least the bubble was small enough, I guess. They didn't try and go too fucking crazy with it. No, I found this pretty offensive. I I hated it. I did not like any of it. It made me mad. Um, I my review starts with tragic, toxic train wreck. I really, really found this an absolute mess of a film. And like I said, like you're either going to I think you're in the middle, which I find impressive. Because for me, like I said, I thought you'd either really side with him or you'd completely side against him. Whereas you're like, I don't care. It was okay to watch. Like you're able to separate yourself from sort of the politics behind the film, I suppose.
Yeah, that's what I've
Which is probably a
always
good
been
way
like
of,
though.
yeah, it's very true. Whereas I find that a bit harder. But my psychologist is always saying that I need to make my bubble smaller. So maybe this is a prime example of I shouldn't be offended by this. I should just fucking turn it off and move on with my life.
Maybe you should
Um,
look at my bubble.
yeah, it's a good bubble to be in for sure. Look, I hated it. I gave it a half a star. I'd give it less if I could.
Okay.
Um, it is very bad, very boring. Um, like no, you can tell that he fucking directed this and wrote it and everything because the writing is very Bill Burr, but the direction as well is very nothing. Like it's just shot reverse shot the whole way through. Some compared it to Hangover.
No,
When I
no.
read reviews, I'm like, how can you fucking even put this on the same level?
Look,
Like this is so shit.
I could imagine a lot of the Hangover like fandom would probably enjoy this.
Yeah, okay.
Like if you think of all the people that enjoy the Hangover movies or that type of comedy,
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
probably going to enjoy this.
yeah. Whereas I'm glad that like most reviews on Letterbox and stuff are around like the 2 to 2.5, like you've said. It's just boring. Like I found it worse, but it boring is pretty accurate.
Okay. I wouldn't say
Um,
boring. I just wouldn't
no?
say it was overly entertaining. It was like a nothing. Like I wasn't bored, but I wasn't
Okay,
like super engrossed either. Like it was
sure.
just happy for
Sort of
it to
just
be
it
on.
was just on. Yeah, okay, okay.
That's why I compared it to the weekly like DVD rental back in the
Yeah,
day and stuff.
yeah. You get it, chuck it on, and be like, yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
not too fast. Yeah.
Yeah, no. I didn't like it at all.
Okay. Okay.
I watched it last Sunday and I honestly thought I even watched it until today.
Fair. Fair.
So yeah,
Well, let's move on to something that I actually
let's.
watched last week. This is the Beckham documentary, which is on Netflix. It's a 4 episode part. I've seen all four. I'm not
Me too.
sure. You've seen them all? Excellent.
I watched them all. Yeah.
Okay. So back in the day, I used to not like soccer. It's
Yep.
look, I don't know if that's the correct way to explain it, but I used to say things to get a reaction from Lawson. Like
You did.
I was a nothing sort of soccer fan. And
Uh-huh.
then from 2017, I was starting to play FIFA Ultimate Team, and now I watch 4 games a week. And I play the new EAFC and all the other ones far too much, far too much.
Yeah, you're
So
pretty into it now.
but now I'm super into it, and
Whereas
surprisingly,
I've completely disconnected myself from it. Watching this was like this is my like prime into soccer. Like all of high school, all me and my friends were pretty much that was our like our biggest common ground was games and soccer and soccer
okay,
games.
yep,
And like Beckham's career pretty much spans my interest in the entire sport. Like this is perfect. All the people he's interviewing, I'm like, oh fuck yeah, Gary Neville, oh
mm-hmm.
Roberto Carlos, oh Eric Cantona, like this is sick. I
Yeah,
loved all the people that are in this. And now, before we got onto this, you were telling me about um your stuff with FIFA or EA FC, and I'm like, I don't even know half of this stuff anymore.
yeah. Yeah, so I was talking about all my current favorite players, and all the people that appear on this are all like the game icons, which I don't really have a connection with. Besides, like
Yeah.
I knew who Beckham was growing up. I know who like Ronaldo was, like
Mm-hmm.
R9 Ronaldo, not like Christian R like CR7. Like
Yeah, yeah. We've always
yeah,
called him Fat Ronaldo
yeah.
because by the time Cristiano Ronaldo came out, this Ronaldo had gained a bit of weight. So there
Look,
was Ronaldo and Fat Ronaldo.
he was always a big boy. Like you see him in his prime, and he's a stocky unit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's part of what made him good.
yeah. But this is spanning over Beckham's career. So it's first episode is like his, I guess, introduction into soccer. So you get like his background, him
Mm-hmm.
coming up through the ranks. I feel like his dad was living through him. He was like training him
Oh,
like
definitely.
crazy amounts. It was like, you need to do this. It was like never happy.
Yeah.
Was always like, you need to work on the basics and stuff. And then there was after I was like, oh, I wonder if I do that with my son. Like, you need to work on this, this, and this, because like my son practicing sports, he always wants to do the flashy skills and stuff. I'm like, no, just
That
drill the
were the
basics, and then.
basics. Yeah.
But no, he wants to do all the flashy stuff. But
Everyone
like,
does.
yeah, like Beckham, he was training the basics. His father was a big Man U star,
Hmm.
and like,
A fan, not
oh,
a star.
oh yeah, fan. Sorry. So we get an introduction. They were like a really, I guess, would you say, working? They were that working class family. Like, they were putting
Yeah, yeah,
everything
for
together.
sure.
Like
Hmm.
the mum was doing hairdressing. Beckham
Yep.
was like making the ladies like cups of tea and like helping out here and there.
Yep.
And dad was, I can't remember what dad was doing. It was like he was a worker of some sort.
Yeah, I'm not sure it was said, or if it was, I missed it. But yeah, they're working class for sure.
Yeah. So it's the first part's all about the history of him growing up and being like a superstar little prodigy because of all the extra training that his dad put him through. And like,
Hmm.
you see footage of him as a kid, and you're like, yeah, this kid's like drilled the basics. Like, he's doing step overs. Like, his ball control is
Yep.
far beyond anyone else in that league. He gets a call up because there was a Man U scout at one of the games, and they want him to like come through the academy.
Yeah, pretty much. Once
Yeah,
Sir Alex Ferguson more or less discovered him, became like a second dad. Yeah.
yeah. I really liked that connection between him and the coach. Like, it was really cool,
Hmm.
like seeing him come through and seeing how like the club took him under his wing, and him
Yeah.
coming. Would he make his debut at 17 and scored? And
Yeah, for actual top club. He was
yeah,
playing junior club for a long time before that, but yeah, his first like Premier League was like 17. Yeah.
mm,
Which is I didn't realize it was that early.
yeah. So, I mean, he was pretty good. He was pretty good.
Yeah. I
I
mean, I've
really like.
never so sorry. I've never really been that into Beckham because he played for Man U, who's my like most hated English team. And he played for Real when I was supporting Barcelona. So I didn't like him then either. And then he went to LA Galaxy and his career died, and I didn't care about him either. And he went to AC Milan, and I didn't support AC either. So like I never gave a shit. I never gave a shit about Beckham. And I also hate England as a team. And I always want them to do poorly. So like I didn't care about this going into it. But just like Pamela Anderson doco, and like I was saying to you, what how why I was willing to watch this, is completely changed my perspective.
Yeah. So
Sure.
like, I had no real big connection besides like Bend It Like Beckham, and Beckham was known to be obviously a really good soccer player. Played for Man
Yeah.
U. Man U for some reason had the greatest marketing team ever. Didn't they release a Game Boy or something or other at one point?
Yep. Yep. Game Boy Advance. Sorry, Game Boy Color. Uh-huh.
Yeah, like
Yep. They're
to
the only company, sorry, only sporting team ever to be sold at, like Target.
yeah,
Like
like
they were smart.
like that's how I knew of them. Like, we used to go to Bali. I used to have a Man U Beckham top just because he was a really famous player, and I bought one. Well,
Yep.
mum and dad bought me one. I was like,
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
cool. Like, this is sick. I had no idea, no connection to it, but
Yeah.
I really like how humble he is. Like,
Definitely.
being being such a skillful player and a very good-looking man to the point where you're the sex symbol of football, of like
Hmm.
modeling, like, to stay that humble throughout everything that he went through.
Yeah.
I was very, very impressed. So
Yeah. And to be that dedicated, like because of his showmanship, I suppose, like because of his being a model and sort of stuff, and being with a Spice Girl and whatever, I always saw him as like a douchebag celebrity. And I would have assumed that, his dedication to football was a little lacking, I guess, because of how much he was doing at the same time and how much of a celebrity he became. But yeah, very wrong. He
Yeah.
was one of the most dedicated players ever, I suppose.
I am very impressed because I have a similar style when I go like play sport or if I'm doing a task, like his ability to cut off everything that's happening
Mm,
in his world and just like focus on exactly what he's doing. So like in episode 2, we see him go into the World Cup and play for
mm,
England. And
yep,
my
98.
God, the England coach,
Yeah,
I don't even know what word to describe this guy. Like if you think
yeah,
Bill Burr was toxic or
yeah,
problematic, this guy's worse. This guy
yeah.
hated David Beckham like
Hmm.
unjustly. I'm assuming it was like due to his fame or due to his like skill or the hype around this player. But like I don't understand why he hated him so much. Was it like was this guy
Yeah.
like an ex-player or was he just a coach? Like what
He
was
was an ex-player. Yeah, because they said that growing up, Beckham looked up to him. He was one of like Beckham's heroes when he used to watch him as a kid and stuff.
yeah, right.
And even one of his dad's heroes. What was his name? Was it Joe Mercer?
I can't remember.
Uh,
But
Glenn
like
Hoddle.
yeah, like he didn't want to play Beckham. He didn't want him in the team. He benched him, and to the
Yep.
point where the papers and everybody was like, "Nah, you need to play Beckham. We want to see Beckham." Puts him on, and then Beckham starts to like hit the winners and like fully
Mm.
changes the team to the point where they're going into the playoff for the final or to get into the last
Yeah, they were
game of the
round
final.
16, so they made it past the group stages, and they're in round of 16. So you lose, you're out.
Yeah, and Beckham loses his cool a little bit and
First half.
sticks a leg out, which is
Yeah,
the softest red card that I've ever seen.
yeah.
Like
Even
how
Diego Simeone was like, "No, that wasn't a red."
no, it's not even a card. There's nothing in
No,
that. Nothing in that is worthy of anything. Like maybe a free kick for like unsportsmanlike, but
for talking
nowhere,
to. Yeah,
yeah, nowhere ever is that a card. But he gets a red card. Old
yep,
mate, the coach, after the game, like it went to penalties. So like
yeah.
Beckham's card didn't really have that much of a massive impact.
No,
Because
it was the end. It was the end of this first half. It was they were drawing.
yeah,
Like they had every opportunity to score again. They could have won in penalties. It's not like in penalties having a man down makes any difference. Like it's so unfair for the coach to turn around and be like, "This is Beckham's fault."
yeah, nationally blamed everything on Beckham.
Yeah,
And
hated by the
how
nation.
Beckham got through this and was like still positive and still like
Yeah, yeah,
wanting to play for the country
yeah.
is beyond me. To like,
And literally, his next cup was captain. Like
yeah.
to go from there to there in 4 years is really impressive.
So he got nationally blamed for England being knocked out, which then led to like death threats,
Yep.
to people hanging replicas outside of their
Yeah.
businesses and their houses. Like
Yeah.
that's absolutely ridiculous how the people turned on him. Like they loved him, and then all of a sudden he gets a red card. He gets nationally blamed by the coach.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he's not that old here. Like
No.
he's what 20,
19.
19 or 20, like
When
pretty
was he
young.
born?
Like it's insane the amount that he went through. So
Born 75. That was a 98 cup. So he was 23.
yeah, like a 23-year-old, you think
Yeah.
you're old, but you're really
No.
not. To be able
No.
to go through that as well is insane.
Mhm.
Like walking down the street, people like threatening you, yelling at you, no matter where
Yeah.
you go. He was
People
dating,
coming to menu games just getting berated by like just going there to hate him. Yeah.
yeah,
Dating a Spice Girl. Uh-huh.
dating a Spice Girl at this point as well. So like
Yep.
he's in the tabloids for everything, no matter what he
Yep.
does. Like it's insane the amount that he's gone through, and I really enjoyed the pacing of this documentary as well. So I watched it with my partner, and
Mhm.
she wanted the gossip stuff. I wanted the football side because I never knew his journey. Like I'd always thought he was just Man U. I knew he played for England, but I thought, he was always at Man U. I didn't know he went to Real. I knew he went
All
to
right.
Galaxy. Didn't know he went to Milan. Like there's all
Yeah,
those
sure.
different parts that I never knew actually happened.
Yeah, is it Real for quite a while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah, you're right. Because that's it did feel a little rushed. Like I kind of wish it was 5 episodes because the later half of his career was like from Real on, sort of felt pretty quick. Like they were just sort of like blasting through it. Um, but yeah, I guess knowing Beckham's career, because like I said, this is when I was like peak football fan. Um, Knowing his career, I'm like waiting for certain things to happen. But like I had no idea how much he was hated by the
yeah,
nation after '98. No idea. I mean, I was 7 at the time. I was pretty young watching all that. But yeah, I did not know that it was as bad as it was.
yeah. It's crazy, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
to think that he actually stuck it out. And imagine the taunts, like even Posh Spice, she seems actually quite down to earth considering
Yeah,
there's a really funny scene where she's trying to describe her as like a work coming from a working class family,
yeah.
and Beckham sticks his head and he's like, "Tell him what car
Telling the
you drove.
truth. Yeah.
Tell him what car you went." It was just a casual Rolls Royce going to school.
Right. Right.
Like considering that you were being driven to school in a Rolls Royce, like there's no like scrapping for money, whatever. Like she seems quite down to earth. She seems to
Yeah.
be like really family orientated. Like I never saw like a nanny or anyone. Like she seemed
Mm-hmm.
to always do like the parenting and
Yep.
keeping the family together.
It's always our
While
priority.
yeah, which
Yeah.
is which is awesome. Beckham makes some selfish choices about like jumping and dragging the family to
Yeah. It's
all the
true.
different places.
Going to PSG. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
come on. Like,
So there's like back and forth and like seeing what Victoria had to put up with as well. Like
yeah.
imagine being at the game and all of the menu or all the crowd chanting Posh Spice takes it up the bum or
Yeah.
whatever
I know.
whatever the
Hey.
chant was. Like
Yeah. Something very similar to that. Yeah.
yeah, like there's only a certain number of ways that you're actually able to deal with that. Like you either lean into it, ignore it, but if you give them a reaction, like the chants and stuff are going to get worse and worse.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like
That's how bullying works.
yeah, they did it to someone they were chanting at Vardy. Jamie Vardy
Yeah.
plays
Yeah.
for Leicester. Yeah, they were chanting something about his wife. He scored a goal, and then he went and celebrated in front of that stand that were chanting.
They shut
Like,
him up.
oh, yeah. So I found the first 3 episodes really, really engaging. Like I loved every second of the first three.
Yeah.
The fourth one, I was like, not because it was like the end of his career and just seeing him
Yes.
like take bits and pieces of like whatever remaining contracts there were. Like I would
Yep.
have preferred 4 to be about him starting up Inter Milan.
Same. Yeah.
Like,
That's what I wanted it to be.
mm, like I would have found that more engaging than just seeing like him try and
Yep.
keep the pace of like his professional soccer career.
Yeah. I agree completely. Because I wrote my notes. As soon as the LA Galaxy part started, I stopped caring, just like Beckham's career. Like
Okay.
he moving to LA Galaxy, I stopped giving a shit about him and stopped. I mean, I didn't give a shit about him before that, but like that to me was when he went off my radar completely.
Yeah.
So yeah, once that started, I'm like, I don't care about this. And all the politics between like how bad I didn't know how bad MLS used to be. People there used to be fucking like pool cleaners and shit.
Yeah.
Um, but like seeing Landon Donovan, I didn't realize there was conflict between Landon Donovan and Beckham either. And like that was interesting. But you're right, like that's when I cared less
Yeah.
because the stakes aren't as high.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's MLS. Who gives a shit?
I did like the interaction between him and Donovan, where this was like Donovan's Premier League and like
Yeah, this is Donovan's
MLS
menu.
MLS playing on like the gridiron marking still. Like there's so
Yeah,
many lines, like it was
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah.
Where
That's what I mean. Like that last part of his career where he played for three different teams. He played for LA Galaxy, AC Milan, and PSG over the course of like 4 or 5 years, and they just like glanced over it. And the same,
yeah,
like you said, with Inter, like he he had so much to do with Inter Miami. Like he literally was one of the founding members, co-owners,
mm,
and he signed Messi and stuff, and they just like one sentence move on sort of thing. Like you're right, I would have preferred a bit more about that. And even now, like I would have liked a little bit about how Inter's going and learning a bit about that club and how and their success as well.
yeah.
I
Does
mean,
that
one
like
more episode would be nice.
reinvigorated his like love of football? I guess because like
Yeah,
after Galaxy, he was like, this isn't as fun, and then he went to Milan and was like, this is what I wanted. This is why I love the game. Like
yeah,
so, like, but yeah, it was quite quick. But I do
yeah,
like to see his like the family stuff. Like they've got a soccer pitch at the house, and
yeah.
his son's now playing. I can't remember. I did look it up, but he was playing obviously at Inter Miami, and I think now he has a contract for Brentford. Brentford. He's
Oh, the son.
mm,
I didn't realize he was
um
playing professional football.
yeah. So
Oh, there you go.
he's got three sons and a daughter. So
Oh, they had two sons and a daughter.
no, so he's got
There you
four
go.
kids. One son's is trying to make it in football. One's a model, and another one's a DJ musician.
There you go.
And then
And his daughter's too young.
daughter's still at school.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
Running out of time, I'll be quick. One of my favorite things about this was when they would show footage of games and they'd get them to they'd do like extreme close-ups of really like shallow depth of field and just watch their reactions. I loved watching people like Beckham. They did it with Eric Cantona. Who else did they do it with? I remember, I think Rio Ferdinand even. Figo had a couple times.
Mm.
Like I love seeing their reactions to like key moments in their careers was really, really special. Like they're the sorts of things I'd love to do if I met these people. We'll sit down and watch games with them and hear all the insights. And yeah, this felt very grounded for a story about the upper echelon of professional athletes. This was a very grounded, and I think Fisher Stevens, who like I didn't realize he was making documentaries and stuff. He's like an actor that we know. We might be able to look him up later. Um, he's done a really good job. Like this is quite compelling for a story that I didn't care about prior. I wrote my early notes. Please interview Roberto Carlos because he's one of the funniest fucking people, and
Yeah.
I'm so glad that they did because he's so good.
He's real funny. And I like the interaction between him and Beckham, like with the language barrier, and they're just like
Yeah,
gesturing and
yeah,
like having
yeah.
fun. Real
Mm-hmm.
good. But yeah,
And
I
Cantona as well. Like he's a fucking bruiser. I wish I got to see more about him. I'd watch a whole doco about Cantona as well.
yeah, they're so good. But for me, I loved it. I thought it was great.
Same.
It's just for them skipping over a few clubs. It's like a 4.5. Like it was
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, I'm up there too. I'm probably four, probably closer to 4.5 than a four, but it'd be
Yep.
around a four-ish for sure.
Yeah, nice. I'm so glad you watched it because
Yeah,
when I
man,
first
same.
mentioned it to you, you were like, nah.
I know.
Yeah,
And when first I started watching, I'm like, but then by two episodes, I was keen as to watch more. I watched most of them in one night, like
yeah,
back to
nice.
back to back.
Nice. Next week, our trending one is Five Nights at Freddy's. We've got Lawson pick, which is the Royal Hotel Australian film, and
Hell
my
yeah.
pick, another documentary, Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah, big
Adrian.
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 Let's listen to a man mumble for an hour.
Yeah, we will.
I'm so keen. Not really.
Mumble documentary. It's a new genre.
For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
We got the
Yeah,
Arnie one. Now we got the.
yeah. The Arnie one was good though.
It actually was. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
disagree.
Besides
All
the
right, love
politics
yous.
ones. All right, see you. Bye.